It seems the Avatar franchise is only going to expand and get bigger from this point onwards, especially with the inclusion of a villain many fans thought was dead. To everyone's surprise, the Tolkien hunter Mick Scoresby will return in Avatar 3. The Way of Water producer Jon Landau recently revealed this. In the Avatar sequel, which takes place 13 years after the events of the first movie, Jake Sully, Neytiri, and their children flee to a new oceanic Na'vi tribe. This is known as the Metkayina tribe and plays a huge role in the events of the second film. The Sullys face a number of enemies throughout the movie. This includes Scoresby, a merciless RDA Tolkien hunter and vengeful Na'vi counterpart of Miles Quaritch. Despite the fact that Paya Khan's cunning efforts caused Scoresby to lose his arm in the sequel, Landau stated that Cowell's nemesis will return in Avatar 3. The Tolkien hunter's reappearance speak to the broader tales that are planned for the next sequels, though the producer is careful to withhold too many specifics about what fans may anticipate from the character in the future movie. Plus, according to Empire magazine, the RDA and General Ardmore will keep working to make Pandora the new home for mankind. It's obvious that the series is going to expand and become even more interesting as it moves forward, and so fans can't help but gather all the details that they can about what's coming their way next. Luckily, I've done all the hard work. Here's everything you need to know about Avatar 3. In order to prevent the younger performers from growing out their parts, Avatar 3 was shot together with the most recent sequel, although the movie was never certain to succeed. But Avatar: The Way of Water's outstanding box office performance and extremely positive critical reaction have now basically confirmed some things. Not only will the third movie go through, but also planned fourth and fifth entries will probably receive the go-ahead as well. Avatar: The Way of Water was initially going to be a much longer movie in terms of plot, but it soon became apparent that it would be too much for just one film, and so the decision was taken to break it into two. Avatar 3 will feature a new tribe of Na'vi called the Ash People, a fire-based clan that might not be as welcoming as the Omaticaya and Metkayina. In addition to this, Loak will serve as the narrator in place of Jake. This has made fans wonder if Jake may be dying at some point in the movie. The clear good Na'vi against bad humans dichotomy of the previous two films will be complicated by Avatar 3, according to Cameron. This will be demonstrated in a new way. How? Well, all sides are equally capable of being noble and doing wicked crimes. Several new characters will also appear in Avatar 3, including a scientist played by Michelle Yeoh and unidentified individuals portrayed by David Thewlis and Una Chaplin. The plot of Avatar 3 may be pretty closely related to that of the most recent sequel because it was initially included in Avatar: The Way of Water and was filmed consecutively. The conclusion of Avatar: The Way of Water leaves a number of storylines open for further development, while it is unclear if there will be a time leap. Kiri also learns a way to manage Pandora's plant life, which appears ripe for future investigation. Quaritch lives to fight another day, which means he'll almost surely return. Avatar 3 isn't anticipated to arrive in theaters for another 2 full years, but the movie is already looking like an intriguing continuation of the series. Interestingly, according to James Cameron, he's bringing in some new changes to the upcoming sequel, and the biggest one is Avatar 3 completely reversing the first Avatar's formula. Many of the concepts and plot points from Avatar: The Way of Water were carried over into the sequel, but Avatar 3 is preparing to entirely change the first Avatar structure. The universe and people in the Avatar series are tremendously complex, but when it comes to the dynamics of good and evil, the story tends to follow a very straightforward interpretation. In contrast, Avatar: The Way of Water hinted that certain characters would explore moral ambiguity in the franchise's upcoming installments, with Avatar 3 totally flipping how some characters are presented. In Avatar: The Way of Water, Colonel Quaritch returns to Pandora in an artificial avatar body in an effort to find and murder Jake Sully. Quaritch's plan is delayed though when he learns that his human son, Spider, was abandoned on Pandora and reared with the Omaticaya Na'vi infant. The original Avatar did a good job establishing the Na'vi hostility towards humans, so having a human coexist with them adds an exciting dimension to the the plot that will be further developed in subsequent movies. Although all Na'vi have been portrayed as morally upright heroes in Avatar trilogy and all humans as bad, Avatar 3 is about to change that. The film will feature humans who aren't just villains, and Na'vi that aren't exactly heroes. James Cameron hinted at the prospect of Rogue Na'vi his plans for the franchise's future. He said that since he has only so far presented the positive aspects of the Na'vi, but he wants to present them in a different light. The first two films have mostly presented the aliens in a positive light, whereas the humans are the bad guys. In Avatar 3, they'll go the other direction. The possibility of wicked Na'vi makes the future sequel to Avatar: The Way of Water even more fascinating, since Avatar 3 is expected to introduce a new fire-based clan, Na'vi. Avatar 3's narrative will be deeper if there are unfavorable depictions of Na'vi and good depictions of mankind. Essentially, no non-Avatar Na'vi does anything wrong in the first two movies, giving the group the impression of being a virtually faultless race of aliens. On the other hand, the RDA's atrocities are shown in the Avatar series as the result of particular people rather than societal problems. Painting the Na'vi and humans in such broad strokes does the movies an injustice. So it's wonderful to hear that Avatar 3 will have a more layered plot structure. Along with the narrative, cultural changes are also incoming. James Cameron himself teased Avatar 3's new Na'vi cultures. Cameron revealed to Deadline that the element of fire and Who Knew tribes would make their film debuts in Avatar 3 when speaking at the Critics' Choice Awards. He disclosed that in the movie, fire serves as a metaphor, and a whole civilization has developed around it. The director felt that revealing even that much was definitely saying too much.
The success is definitely exceeding our expectations and our minimum threshold for it all having been a gamble or an investment that was worth our time.
It's safe to say that in the upcoming sequel, fans will see two very different societies. There are going to be some interesting new Na'vi cultures to explore. The upcoming film also wanders a little more freely over Pandora's planet, visiting various locations. Avatar 3, provided there are no delays, is most likely to be released around December 2024, whereas fans had to wait 13 years for a sequel to the original movie. So it's definitely a shorter waiting period in comparison. Cameron previously assured Digital Spy in December that the movie is on schedule for release and that the majority of the work has already been finished. He stated that the main thing left is the VFX, which, considering it's the Avatar franchise, probably will take a bit of time. James thinks that the wait won't be longer than a few years, which might still be too much for excited fans. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Avatar: The Way of Water potentially returning a villain that fans thought was dead? See you next time.